This is why calisthenics is not as big as CrossFit, because we don't think the same. It's almost worse than drill rap, the calisthenics industry. I'm smoking on my dead ops. This mentality, sickening. We not helping each other. We only hurting each other. You expect a dude to do this 8-9 hours a day just for a hobby and then go work 8 and 9 hours a day? Most of these moves we're doing now is basically recycled, but nobody's getting paid for these quote unquote moves. You know, I could do more dips than him. You can't get $5 for every dip you do. Who cares? Yeah, they're only putting up 15-second clips. Who cares? The golden era didn't do their job business-wise, and now the new era is not doing their job business-wise. Yeah, they're going viral, but I'm stronger than all 5 of them. Who cares? If you can't feed your daughter, your son, your mother, your father, take her out the ghetto, who cares how many dips you can do?
التقريب هذا حد العالم هذا طالب هذا راسخ والى اخره.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. To all RipRightHD disciples, YouTubers and viewers, welcome back to a new video on RipRightHD. Okay guys, I'm back down in NYC, picking up some stuff, going through storage, driving a U-Haul back to the HQ in Florida, to the headquarters in Florida. So right now I'm just soaking up everything, linked up with D300. We got a lot of great footage coming out, a lot of great things happening in the future, inshallah ta'ala. So y'all see the topic, why is calisthenics not as big as CrossFit? And in my opinion, the #1 reason is because it was gifted to the blacks. Some people might say, oh, that's bad. Before you even jump to conclusions, before you judge my statement, just listen to the proof that I've come up with dealing with that. The reason why calisthenics is not as big as CrossFit is because calisthenics was gifted to the blacks, meaning the blacks had the control of the calisthenics. And unfortunately, they didn't do the right things with it. And I would say that to say this. When you think about NFL, when you think about the NBA, the NCAA, when you think about all these major leagues, when it comes to sports, and blacks are in that particular sport making a whole lot of money, how are they able to do that? Was that particular sport gifted to the blacks, meaning they controlled it, they did the business behind it, they made the sport popular as far as pushing it and marketing? Yes, we are able to play football, we're able to play baseball, we're able to play basketball, and we quote unquote make the sport popular because of some of our abilities, but we're talking about the marketing and the business aspects. Who is in control of these sports? Who is the owners? Who are the owners? And that goes to say, if it was blacks, and Allah knows best, in this era, and a little eras before this era here, we would have never heard about Kobe Bryant if blacks were in charge. He would have probably, Kyrie Irving would be in the park right now doing crossovers. Unfortunately, and this is a fact. And this is a fact based upon my analogies, based upon what I've seen, based upon what I've been through dealing with business and a lot of my black people, unfortunately. So how are we going to take that next step to make calisthenics great? The golden era, right? Which was the best era when it came to calisthenics so far, right? Thus far, because calisthenics is not a super old sport, right? As far as it being like known and blasted, like people were doing calisthenics for eons. But we're talking about as far as the beast mode and the barbarians and holding a front lever and these super dope moves Hannibal is doing. That wasn't really known like that, other than in like gymnastics. But we're talking about Park, who made that culture, Pop, who made it fly. Who was in charge of that? It was the blacks. Now we look 20 years later, 20 some odd years later, where is calisthenics now? And CrossFit came out after us because we were gifted with the calisthenics, right? Right? Calisthenics started in Brooklyn. You see people putting up different type of posts. Calisthenics started in NYC, this, that, and the third. Okay, so if we were gifted with the charge of calisthenics, why isn't it as big as CrossFit? Because we were gifted with it. That's the bottom line. If it was another race, if it was the Asians, if it was the Caucasians, you know, this thing would have been out the roof. Why? Because they collectively, most of the time, work together, even if they don't like each other, even if they do not like one another personally, but on a business level, they work with each other for the greater good. Families will stay 10, 12 deep in one house with 3 bedrooms, and everybody will work. And they will stack their chips together, and then this one would buy a house, then the sister would buy a house, then the cousin, then the brother. The next thing you know, it's 19 houses in their family, and it's only 12 of them. Now they're renting out the other the other 7 houses. But this is how it works in other cultures, in other ethnicities, in other races, and this is a fact. We all see it. So this is my factual opinion, if you want to say, right, based upon analogy. I believe if calisthenics was in the hands of someone else at the moment when it first popped off, that it would have been a NCA, a National Calisthenics Association. I believe that people would be able to compete and win $250,000, upwards to $300 and some odd $1,000. People would actually be doing this as a living, no questions about it. But because we were in charge, it is where it's at now, right? So, and then based upon my not just opinion and analogy, right, if you want to say, but my experience dealing with calisthenics in this era, right? Because I'm only 4 years old. I'm a baby. So the golden era, they handled calisthenics as far as the moves is concerned. They locked that down. You know, you'll do a move one day and you'll think, man, I made this joint up. This is my move. I'm going to coin it. And then you'll get a YouTube suggestion one day, and it'll be a video from Forum or Strictly Bar Talk, or old video from Wingate. And you'll be like, man, this video is 12 years old. Let me check it out. And you did the same move you thought you came up with. It's in that video. So the golden era, they did that. Most of these moves we're doing now is basically recycled. It's added on. It's tweaked. You know, so everybody's doing everybody's quote unquote moves, right? But nobody's getting paid for these quote unquote moves. Why? Because the golden era didn't do their job business wise, and now the new era is not doing their job business wise. They're concerned with, yeah, they're only putting up 15-second clips. Yeah, they're going viral, but I'm stronger than all 5 of them. Yo, you know, I could do more dips than him. Who cares? Who cares? If you can't get $5 for every dip you do, who cares? If you can't feed your daughter, your son, your mother, your father, take her out the ghetto, who cares how many dips you can do? How many battles you will? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You might go down as a legend, but you're going to go down as a broke legend that wasn't able to take care of your family. You need to leave your folks behind a legacy, not just in name, but also monetary wise, some land. What if we have a food shortage? They can't do nothing. They can't go slaughter a cow or grow, if they alkaline, grow some chickpeas and mango. They can't do none of that. Because you haven't provided none of that. Because you think that it matters that you can do more dips than another person instead of focusing on business. So yeah, you know, Team RipRight, yeah, they alright, but they really on to the business aspect. What you expect? You expect a dude to do this 8-9 hours a day just for a hobby and then go work 8 and 9 hours a day? This is why calisthenics is not as big as CrossFit, because we don't think the same. It was gifted to the blacks, and the blacks, unfortunately, not all of us, but a lot of us, many of us do not think the same. We don't think to monetize. We think that if we monetize our gifts, oh, you know, you don't really love doing it. Yo, you got to do it for free. Nobody does anything for free. When I first started, yes, I did a lot of things for free. I trained for free. I had free classes. Yes, I did that, and I built my brand, and I think I deserve, right, and other people on my team that's been working just as hard as me or twice as hard as me deserves to get paid for their time and for their effort. Right? I'm not forcing my workout program on somebody. Yo, you have to pay for this. I'm not forcing my ripstick on somebody. Yo, you have to pay for this. I'm saying this is what I provide, and I believe what I provide is of some substance, and it can help you in your life daily. So if you're willing to pay for that, alhamdulillah, all praises due to God. If you're not willing to pay for that, alhamdulillah, all praises due to God, whether you decide or not. But it's not going to be free. Is there something wrong in that? But when you're ready to buy some Louis and some red bottoms, you don't have a problem. It's the mentality. Why calisthenics is not as big as CrossFit? The mentality. It was gifted to the blacks. If it was gifted to any other race, I believe calisthenics would have been a NCA. National Calisthenics Association. I believe that I would have came through, started calisthenics, would have had to start from whatever, worked my way up, get known, battled, eventually try out for the NCA, maybe winning that a couple of times, whatever. I would have had to go through the ringer just to get paid, yes, and to do something I love. You think basketball players go to college, go to school, work hard? They doing all of that in the beginning for what? Free. Just like I did when I first started my business. But then after all their hard work pays off, they make it to the NBA. You think they gonna just keep doing it for free? No. They could, and it wouldn't kill them that, you know, they're playing basketball, that they're doing something they love and they're not getting paid for it, but they wouldn't be able to do it and put that much time and effort into it full time, at the same time have responsibilities to take care of. So guys, all the internet gangsters, all the internet thugs, all these guys, it's almost worse than drill rap, the calisthenics industry. It's like they want to, you know, I'm smoking on my dead ops. This mentality, it's sickening. We're not helping each other. We only hurting each other. But you're not going to be able to hurt somebody that has 1 million followers and you got 12,000. You wasting your breath. So in the meantime, in between time, don't waste your breath. Focus on something positive. If that's to make money from calisthenics, then find out what you got to do. Write some programs. Dig deep. Focus on self. Don't worry about what's going on. I have too many things to be worrying about what's going on with another man. But, however, I am privy to what is going on in the calisthenic industry, business-wise. Why? Because I'm here to gain. Remember that. I am here to gain. And it's not just muscles. That's just one. Because I like muscles. I like to gain muscles. I like to gain strength. That's one aspect. But I'm here to feed my family, take my family out the ghetto, out the hood, wherever that may be. In Brooklyn, wherever they want to go, I want to be able to say, tafaddal, go ahead, no problem. The money is there. We worked hard. We suffice. And I'm willing to spend my money on products and businesses that I feel are substantial things that I'm going to use. I like iPhones. I like Apple. If iPhone costs this much, that's what I pay for. You get me? If a guy owns or runs a business, black, whatever, if he has something that I want, I pay for it. That's business. So if you think that calisthenics and business don't mix, stop doing push-ups. Stay tuned, stay ripped, six-pack, big back, big facts.
Indeed, in the body, literal translation, is a lump of flesh, a piece of meat. إِذَا صَلَحَتْ صَلَحَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ. And when that lump of flesh